Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, here we are, live from the Printers Room in Ballarat, Victoria, Australia. It's me. I was going to get someone really nice and handsome to come in and MC the night, but you don't want that, you want me. We've come down tonight to this beautiful little picturesque town in rural Victoria. I've spent the last couple of weeks here wandering around. You've seen the videos, you've seen some of those beautiful buildings. We're in the basement of one right now. Look at this brickwork. So, see, I'm not... I hope you're all sharing. Remember, what's your first task when you come into the broadcast? Share it to your favourite group. Invite your friends, share it to your favourite group. Share it to your second favourite group, and then send it off as a message to someone so they can share it somewhere and you can invite them too. Let's see how many corners of the world we can reach tonight, because it's important that we reach as far as possible. I've managed to find this beautiful location. I've actually not only managed to find a beautiful location, I've managed to find some beautiful people. People that have put in their time and their effort, and they're giving up their time to come here tonight to throw some entertainment, to participate, and to help us package some very, very important information to send out there to the world. Now, you might be wondering why tonight is called Argo Nights, unless you're an old fan of Greek mythology and a hero called Jason. Anyway, it's a vessel, and that's what tonight is. It's a vessel, it's a platform. It's going to take some of these great, talented musicians, and you wait till you see the talent I've got in this house tonight. You will not believe it, I kid you not. Real songwriters, guys that write their own music, people that turn an instrument into, well, it's not past bedtime yet for the kids, so I can't tell you what it reminds me of, but I kid you not, it's passionate. So they're all here tonight. They're going to be there spending the next couple of hours intermingling with me, having a bit of a chat, entertaining you guys. I'm also going to be chatting to them about their music. I'm going to be chatting to a young fella here in Ballarat called Matt. Now Matt, he's come in, he's found this venue, he's used his passion and his dedication, not just for his own art, but for the people around him, the other artists, the other musicians, the other guys that didn't have anywhere to play, and he's created this little venue. They've been coming in here on Wednesday nights, having their little jam session, gathering together, expressing their art. Tonight, they're going to be doing that for you, all over the world. We're going to have, before I spend all night here dominating the stage, a stage that's actually going to be filled with real talented people. I'm just here for the, the accolades, you know me. I'm going to have some of these guys join me. I've got this really cool little studio couch over here on the side, right? The guys are going to join me, and I'm going to get some of their impressions, some of their questions about what's going on with legalisation, with cannabis as a medicine. Like, what's the go with that? Well, I mean, most of you guys know, don't you? But tonight, we're here to tell the people that don't. So bear with me if I get a little bit simplistic later on about the endocannabinoid system and your endocrine system and the way that your thyroid work, and maybe it won't be that simple after all. Okay, look, I will get to that. I will, eventually. Right now, I'm just watching the guys. I just keep on doing this. It's like, you can't see that there's a teleprompter in front of me giving me everything I need to know. It's true. We've got all the high fancy, dangly sort of technical wizardry. And I've got a team of script writers over here. Well, trained monkeys. Sorry, guys, I was joking. So we've got the share team happening in the background. If I haven't reminded you yet, share. Share now, share often, invite your friends in. We are going to be everywhere tonight, and it's worthwhile joining us. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. I'm going to go and sit down in a second. What am I going to do? We've got a musician that's coming up here soon, shortly, anytime now. And he's a very, very talented singer-songwriter. I don't know if he sings. I know he writes the stuff. He's like talented. He's artistic. Not like me, autistic. Artistic, which means he's creative. That's right. He's here to play, not something he heard on the radio, not something he bought in a songbook, but something that came from his heart. Something that we all know all about. Going with what's in your heart. It's why we get involved in what we do. It's why advocacy is such a worthwhile place to spend your life, because it's all about feeling good because you're making other people feel good. And that's what musicians do. They make other people feel good. When you can take the invisible, the vibrations that surround us all each and every day, and you can shape those vibrations into something that evokes love, that evokes pain and sadness, that is art, that is talent. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what's joining us here tonight. So I'm going to get off the stage and let those guys get on the stage. So if you give my cameraman just 2 seconds to reposition himself without, giving him grief because he hasn't got great equipment. You know I operate on like a shoestring budget. Speaking of, you could always donate. Not to me. You know it's not about me. What it is about is Drug Policy Australia. So there's going to be a link provided. Damn, as soon as I find out where it is. I'm going to have one of the boys find it during the break. Not a break, it's a long stream broadcast for 3 hours, but while the music's on, I'll take a break. I'll find the link, I'll get it in there. Drug Policy Australia, tax deductible, a fully registered charity. And if you're donating really prodigiously, if you're giving huge amounts of money to me, not to me, to the charity, don't get confused. I'm going to do something special for you. 2 secs, watch, wait, don't go anywhere. Wait. Chasing the Scream. I don't know if you've read it yet. Johann Hari. If you haven't read it, you're not doing yourself any favours. This has some of the information you need to make an educated and, let's say, a factual-based decision, an opinion on drug use and addiction and depression. Now, Johann was out here in Australia just the other week. I was lucky enough to spend some time with him. He's a cool guy. And he knows heaps of stuff. And because we're a registered charity, Drug Policy Australia that is, we hassled him out. And he gave us a shitload of books. Cheap. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them to you if you make a fully tax-deductible donation of, say, I don't know, $30. You do that. We'll send you a receipt for your $30 and a book that I think is worth $30. So how's that for a score? It's like cost neutral. You get like a book and then you get a tax deduction on it. I might buy 2. Hang on, I don't pay tax. Anyway, if I did, it would be worth it. So let my camera guy relocate himself and we'll let the musician take over the stage area. He knows you're important just as much as I do, because we wouldn't be getting anywhere without your help. We wouldn't be achieving what we're achieving without all of your help. So, I'll let the camera guy reset. We'll let the musicians take over the stage and set themselves up for the next one. I'll talk to you a little bit more from my comfy couch. Get back into that zone where you know me so well. My comfort zone. Kicking back, sadly. There will be no smoking this evening. Just make sure I've got a live mic over this side. Whoa, let me go. Hey! It's loud. That's good. Means I can probably, get a little bit less. Less. Well, I could never really be less. I can't really be any more, can I? So here we are. Honestly, I'm going to show you guys around this venue later. It's perfect. It is underneath a building that has a kitchen in it that serves the best food. I understand you couldn't be here tonight. So much short notice. And I'm going to give you less notice for the next episode. 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to go again. There's a dinner and show package. The food is amazing. The chef is special. Just ask anybody in town. It's even written on the board. Did I mention about Johann Hari's book? Johann's not here tonight. He's gone back on his way. He was in Melbourne the other day, but he couldn't hang around. Busy man, successful author. So isn't this really weird to be in this
big old place. Used to seeing me like in really, really casual locations, like sitting in the middle of a tent full of cannabis plants or something. Fully legal ones, we all know that, wasn't it? Yes, right in the middle of the Hemp Health and Innovation Expo. Speaking of which, coming up in December, the Hemp Health and Innovation Expo has once again come around. Huge weekend of cannabis information and fun. You should come down, you should participate. It's the 30th till the 5th of November, obviously. 5 days until the 5th of November, which is the Million Mask March. That's right. The anonymous protest around the world where people will gather together, don their Guy Fawkes masks and step out onto the street towards a predetermined location. Now, I'm actually hoping to have a chat to someone this evening. You can never tell if they're going to come or not. About the march, about its history, about what it's about. But in a general sort of overview, you can find the story of Guy Fawkes, you know. It's somewhat known as the only man that ever stepped into Parliament with good intentions, and the intention was to blow it up. I think most people can relate to that these days. We've got to a point where representational government isn't even something we can remember anymore. We've had surveys happening here in Australia since Colorado went legal, which is pretty much 12 months, and surveys that have predictably shown support for cannabis over the 80% mark consistently over the last 12 months. And yet each and every one of those surveys, each and every one of those polls, the results were totally ignored. There was no follow-up, there was no kind of like editorial on the fact that the Australian public are tired of people being harmed by prohibition, a blanket coverall approach to a plant that has proven itself to be both harmless and beneficial to so many different people. We're going to go into a more in-depth look at what cannabis is later on this evening. We'll have a chat to Greg and so forth first. We'll talk a little bit about how cannabis works as medicine. We'll talk a little bit about how it has such a wide-ranging series of uses as far as a treatment from cancer, epilepsy, depression, PTSD. The clinical applications, they're building new sort of like research every day that is showing new utilizations, new purposes for this plant. And I think that the further we look into it, the more and more we're going to discover. And when you're looking at something that can actually remedy so many different conditions and yet is absolutely physically incapable of harming a human being, it cannot kill you. In all of recorded history, it's a funny thing that, you know, stoners say, it's like, pot can't kill you, it can never kill anyone. And they are absolutely correct. In all of recorded history, not a single person has ever died from the use of cannabis. It's physically impossible. The so-called links to psychosis have been proven to be false time and time and time again. They have never once found a causal link between cannabis and any long-term psychosis or mental condition. None. And it's not like they haven't looked. You know, it's like, you understand Occam's razor. You know what I mean? It's like when you take away everything it can't be, no matter whatever's left, must be the truth. Well, they have tried to prove cannabis is responsible for everything from the Ice Age to psychosis. And they can't find any proof of any of those things. So when you keep on trying and trying and trying and trying and you're not actually getting the results, when it's just proven to not be there, as much as they don't like it, they have to come to the conclusion, they have to come and accept the truth that there is no link between cannabis and psychosis. If there was, somebody would have found it because they've been bloody well trying for over 60 years. And I mean trying hard. There are hundreds of thousands of pieces of research that show no causal link. Even the latest stuff that the government likes to sprout, thinking, oh, look, because it's written in such a way as to suggest that there may be links to psychosis. However, the authors of the research have actually put a disclaimer at the bottom highlighting that they could find no such links. But they really believe they're there because that's what they've been paid to do. One of the things that's becoming tiresome, I think, for people, especially those suffering, to face this ongoing battle against misinformation, against people that are quite willing to grasp lies like our politicians who will stand on national television and say cannabis is addictive or cannabis does this, like psychosis, like Malcolm Turnbull did not too long ago, while having a beer in a pub, you know. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a beer in a pub. I quite enjoy one. Moderation in all things, including drugs. But once again, we'll talk about the drug thing later on. And probably, obviously it is because I look good, but it doesn't, it's not a pretty sound. More precise. I'm just on a little bit of a breather, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to have a chat to Greg. We're going to get flowing on from this section into the next section, and then into the next, and we're going to be here with you all night, hour after hour after hour. But you're not going to just have to listen to me. I promise I will get some others here. It was just, you know, everyone else was still elsewhere, and it was like, it's 7 o'clock, and I did promise I'd start at 7-ish. So I did pretty good. It wasn't even an ish. I'm pretty sure it was pretty much on 7-ish. So any minute now, we're going to switch over to the first of our live component sections. And after this talented musician's finished, he's going to come and join us on the couch, and you can talk all about it. So when they're ready to go, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the cameraman is going to now go and reset up so he can get the...
You still remember me, for I must be traveling on now. There's too many places I must see, and if I stay with you, girl, things just couldn't be the same. I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird you cannot change, and this bird you cannot change, and this bird you cannot change. Now, contrary to what was said, I might play one of my own songs, but I will actually be reading out of a book. clouds are far behind me. Behind me, your trouble melts like lemon drops. High above the chimney tops, that's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Over the rainbow, why can't I? Why can't I someday wish upon a star? I wish upon a star. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dream that you dare to dream. Oh, why can't I Second someone mentioned you were all alone. I could feel the trouble coursing through your veins. Now I know it's got a hold. Just a phone call after unanswered had me sparking up. These cigarettes won't stop me wondering where you are. Don't let go and keep on. If you look into the distance, there's a house upon that hill, guiding like a lighthouse, a place where you feel safe to feel the grace, cause we've all made mistakes. If you've lost your way, and I will leave the light on, and I will leave the light on, and I will leave the light on. What's been happening, what's been on your mind? Lately we've been searching for a darker place to hide. That's alright. If you carry on abusing, you'll be robbed from us. So refuse to lose another friend to drugs. Just come on home. Don't let go. If you look into the distance, there's a house upon that hill, guiding like a lighthouse, place where you feel safe to feel the grace, cause we've all made mistakes. If you've lost your way, and I will leave the light on, and I will leave the light on, and I will leave the light on. If you look into the distance, there's a house upon that hill, guiding like a lighthouse, a place where you possess the feeling grace, cause we've all made mistakes. If you've lost your way, and I will leave the light on, leave the light on. Alright, now I'll actually try an original. I wrote this for my wife and sang it to her on our wedding day. I walked into the bar at night, not expecting to find someone like you. I was supposed to meet one of your friends, but there you were, unlike no other. At first I thought that you had a boyfriend who was sitting down there at the other end of the table, who you called baby. But it was then that I thought, no way, it can't be, 'cause you're staring at me like a piece of meat. She's single, let's investigate. And the months rolled by and the seasons changed, and the puzzle pieces, well, they rearranged as they seem to do, to fit each other. And it wasn't very long that I let her see that I wasn't gonna give up, gonna leave her be. And I told her the big 3 words, that I loved her. And in my mind I could always see the future, where it's just you and me in a house, and a dog, and a big TV. 'Cause I knew it then and I know it now. You're just someone I can't live without, and I need you to know it was meant to be. We soon figured out that with your strengths I'm weak. Without each other we're up shit creek. Without a paddle we are our own little gang. I'm pretty damn sure you're the yin to your yang, like a bullet to a gun, make a shit go bang. You are the miso to my soup, like Ed Sheeran on a constant loop. Wouldn't that be great? You're the Darth Vader to my Death Star, like the fuel that I need in my car. Without it I go nowhere. Soon figured out with the strengths I'm weak. Yeah. Up shit creek. I could always see the future, where it's just you and me in a house, and a dog, and a big TV. 'Cause I knew it then and I know it now. You're just someone I can't live without, and I need you to know it was meant to be. 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 Sometimes there's downs and ups. Sometimes in life things seem rough, but all I need for you to know, my love for you will never stop, only grow. And in my mind I can always see the future, where it's just you and me in a house, and a dog, and a big TV. 'Cause I knew it then and I know it now. You're just someone I can't live without, and I need you to know it was meant to be. Thank you.
That was bloody awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just still have a live mic. Excellent. Hey, how was that? That's Jason's. That was kind of the song for Jesse's girl, right?
in essence. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I'll wear that. But
I know. I'm just making
but I like
loops.
It. I like it. I do like it. I like it.
See?
Maybe that's what I'll call it.
Maybe so.
It actually doesn't have a name. You've just named it. There you go.
Well,
but for copyright purposes, I'll change the spelling of Jesse just to.
You could do that, and it's okay. So
or we'll change
sorry,
it to
I'm not
Jesse's
even sure
wife
I'm
instead.
coming and going here. So Jesse, are you going to actually get like? Jesse's going to come and join us. I think we're going to come down, come and have a chat. Come and tell us. We're all fancy around. Okay, so we're really, really lucky this evening because we've got all of this equipment. Like you people at home will be noticing, you can hear us, and that is a novelty. It shouldn't be, but we live in a world of Facebook and technical difficulties. So for this evening, to actually have sound is a beautiful thing. And it's because of Carter Audio. You're going to meet young Matt soon. He's busy doing stage stuff. The mystical things that happen when you're not looking, right? So don't look. Look at us. Over here. Don't look at them, all right? So Matt's the one that actually supplies all the wonderful sound equipment so that you can hear us where you are. Now, Jesse.
Yes.
How long have you been playing music?
I think my mic's falling down.
Okay. Matt didn't supply the mic stand. It's just the mic, okay? The mic stand's a really old one. It does not belong to Carter Audio. It is purely and simply an old one that was lying around. It is not reflective of the wonderful and amazing equipment supplied by Carter Audio, which I believe, if you've got a gig coming up, he can sort you out. So how you going now? That's right in the middle of your face. Come on.
Should be right. I'll just hold it.
It's like a musician. You use the microphone thing. It's all you, isn't it?
Yeah,
so tell me more.
No, I've been playing music for a while. For quite a while, actually. Since I was probably about 15.
Okay.
I probably should be a lot better than I am, but...
I thought you were pretty good myself, and I've been around musicians for longer than you've been alive. Literally, everyone knows Ancient J. It's not because it's not just a cool name. It's a reflective thing because I'm really old.
Well, with that wisdom there comes.
We had a conversation on a good day, maybe.
We had a conversation out the front, and there was, you embarked some wisdom on me, which was good. So
now there's a micro stand. It's keeping going, sliding down. It reminds me of a story they told me once about me in Bundaberg on Jägermeister. I won't go into the story, not on this time slot. Maybe later in one of the closed groups. Just remind me, Bundaberg, Jägermeister, and slowly sliding down a wall. Long story. Not really. That was pretty much most of it then. Anyway. So you're giving up on the thing. See how I subtly get your attention so that he can actually sort it out? It's very, very good. So, playing since you were 15, but what about that's like all the other guys, guitar was the first thing?
Yeah, guitar was the first thing.
Yeah, electric or acoustic?
Started off on acoustic, and then went through a metal phase.
Everyone goes through a metal phase, isn't it?
I had hair. I'm quite bald now.
Wow. And now look at them. He's writing his own music, and it's not like, "Arr!" No offense to the metal guys, but that was beautiful. That was lyrical. That was sort of like really, really nice harmonious. So it was like it had that really nice flow. That was music. That's for me. As I said, I've been around a long time. I did a little bit of sound engineering, a little bit of touring in my younger days, back in the day when everything was towed by like dinosaurs. And one of the greatest things is meeting people like yourself that actually have the passion and the talent, but not just that, the motivation to be able to take that passion and put it into something, into actually something that you can share with other people. Because that's what you do. When you actually pull a piece of music together like that, you may have written it for your wife, and you may have played it for your wife, but that's something that's going to bring joy to people all over the world when they get to hear it tonight. And they already have. How do you feel? It's like you've been coming down here playing in the sort of like the printer's room here in Ballarat for a while now in the Carter sessions. How is it to be all of a sudden playing to an audience that is stretching from one sort of corner of the globe to the other? Or one side of the flat earth to the other?
Depending on how you look at it, I suppose.
Well, that's it. I don't like to cause offence, so I try to cover everyone.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty... It's a unique feeling, really, that. but like, because I can't see these people, so it's not as daunting or as scary. So,
Really? I find it more daunting when I can see them. Oh, well, when I can't, like, I tell you a funny story. When I started doing this a couple of years ago, right? I'm new at this, right? The weird thing is, you will not find any photographs of me as a young man. It was like, camera, Jason, run away. That was it. These days, camera, hey, I'm the photo bomber from hell. So I am, man, seriously. My friends call me camera whore. I won't tell you what the other guys call me. Lost it then. Like literally, what were we talking about? Audiences? That's right. So I start doing these little live streams and I'm doing them in closed groups, right? Like I don't know how many of you guys are aware of the Facebook landscape when it comes to cannabis groups, but there are thousands and thousands of little pockets of people, little groups. Some of them are closed, some of them are secret, some of them you can't find even if you go looking. They have to invite you in. And then you go, ooh, where am I? And then all of a sudden someone will pop up on the screen with a bong going. And you go, oh, I know where I am now. And that's not a bad thing. So Facebook is full of these things. And I spend a lot of time doing shows in them. And because they are all little pocket groups, when you do it in one, it doesn't get outside. So if you're not in it, you can't see it. So you can get away with all sorts of stuff because it's not for the general public. So I would do that. I've done some extravagant things with fruit. Let's keep it clean. I'm talking about carving it into smoking implements. Okay, so there I was just carving something innocently into a smoking implement, expecting to have the usual audience of 30 or 40 die-hard fans. I've got 70 now. It's good. So 30 or 40, so I'm there, I'm carving away and I'm smoking this thing. And I finish my live and you go, finish, and the screen pops down and it goes, you had so many people watching, and you go, excellent, I hit 50! I remember the first time I'd hit 50, that was kind of exciting. So anyway, this thing's closed down and it's gone, you had 1,700 people watching you. And I'm like, I don't think I know that many people.
Yeah.
I don't even have that many friends on Facebook. What are they watching? I was sitting there carving a piece of fruit.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, isn't it? And it freaked the living shit because I'm not a performer.
But I've got a question though, so what fruit was that exactly?
Well, I did two. I did a capsicum, right? And it was very heavy on the carrot. Carrots are great. Look, if you're ever stuck for a cone for your bong, especially you get a glassy and you break the bong and you're like, oh no, I can't use it. Grab a carrot. You can carve them into anything, from a pipe to a stem to a cone.
Does it add to the flavour?
It's really nice. It cools it down a little bit, I find. And after you've had the first few cones, the carrot kind of becomes sort of like semi-cooked. So it's kind of like it's like it's almost plastinated. It's quite cool. Like a carrot cone will last you days. And if you're really hungry with the munchies afterwards, No, don't eat after you've smoked with it. And I did one after I finished doing the capsicum one, I did one with a rock melon. Once again with carrots and a mushroom from memory.
Was it magical?
No. We'll talk about them later if you like. So, yes, tonight we're actually going to talk about a few different things about drugs. We're going to talk about medical sort of drug use. We're going to talk about recreational drug use. We're going to talk about drug use in the music industry. Like you can tell, look at this. That is no Keith Richards there, right? This is a clean, fit, healthy musician. What are you doing in the industry? Literally, like seriously, I grew up around, like seriously, if you'd poke them, you're on stage, you go, what? Oh, okay. They get on stage and they're like, magic! You know what I mean? They come off stage and they'd fall down after the party, obviously. They can always stay up for the party. But clean living, fit, healthy, look at him. That's not a drug person. That's a musician without drugs.
I've had a few beers.
Well, that's a legal drug. It's a toxic, terrible, family soul-destroying drug, but it's legal. Unlike cannabis, which isn't so even. over 80,000 people get arrested every year for cannabis offences alone. And over 90% of those are arrested for simple use and possession. And we're talking about people aged between 18 and 28. We're talking about people that we're dragging through the courts. We're talking about people that we're stigmatising with a criminal conviction for their lives. Seems a bit unfair.
Seems like it's bullshit, to be honest.
Mate, seriously, I agree wholeheartedly. See, this is the thing. Logic tells you it's bullshit.
But I actually, like, I can't smoke pot. For some reason, it doesn't agree with my makeup, so I actually can't. But I am a big advocate for it being legal, and look, I've got friends that smoke pot, and it doesn't faze me at all.
Mate, you must have read my Twitter. You don't have to support cannabis to support the end of suffering.
Yeah. But as I said, like, because it doesn't agree with my constitution.
Yep.
I don't know what that is or why, but at the same time, you know, it very well could help people with medical conditions. Look, you know, if you're suffering from an illness or an ailment, or not even if you're just like smoking, really. You know, I like having a beer after work.
Hey, recreation, winding down. You know what I mean? If you're not doing anyone any harm, where's the cause for causing you harm? And that's what it comes down to. That's exactly what prohibition is. It's an instrument of harm that is basically held above the heads of people, society, beautiful people. Like if you come down to Flagstaff Gardens, we have a beautiful event every April, the 420 celebration. Actually judged number 5 in the world's top 8 this year. A lot of hard work went in there. Kudos to my big man, Matt Riley, based in Melbourne, the FCC, Free Cannabis Community. Got to give the man a shout out. He has put in so much effort to take a city like Melbourne. See, it's kind of lucky because Melbourne, Victorians, you guys are pretty cool. Like I've done a lot of travelling around. I'm not from Victoria. I'm here now. You're stuck with me. But I'm not from Victoria. But there's some really, really beautiful people in Victoria. Matt Riley is one of those people. He heads up the free cannabis community here in Victoria. So a few years back, he had this idea of just having a picnic. You know what I mean? And it's not about, we should all be able to have cannabis. It's about the people that use cannabis are not bad people. They're tarred and they're labelled as criminals, but they're not bad people. So these people, they'd come together in a park, and it's just to catch up with each other. They're just to socialise, just to have a nice environment where they'd be able to come together. And yes, they smoke weed. Now, that started a few years ago, and it started with, you know, like 5 or 6 people turning up, and then, you know, maybe 20, 30 people turning up, and then a couple of 100 people turning up. So now we get over 6,000 people coming into Flagstaff Gardens every single year, enjoying a beautiful afternoon with their friends they haven't met yet, but friends that they may last for lifetimes. Lifetimes, you see. I don't even want to piss off the ones that believe in reincarnation. I'm everybody's friend. It's a beautiful thing about, like, live on Facebook and not on a national broadcaster. Hint, hint. I can adjust myself for that. Is that I can get away with a little bit more than I could if we were on a television station. You can too. You can even swear. Don't swear. But you can swear. Don't swear, okay? You can swear or anything if you wanted to. You can swear if you want.
Shit.
Shit. See, I knew he was going to say that. I just got he's going to say shit.
I wanted to say worse, but...
You can say fuck. You can get it. You don't have to.
Really?
Yeah, you can do that.
Fuck.
Fuck. See? Because the law's fucked.